Hello guys, welcome to Croatia. This is our 18th country together, and today we're going to be exploring Dubrovnik.
Located along Croatia's Adriatic coast, Dubrovnik is known for its beautiful old town, historic stone streets, and unreal coastal views. It's just one of those places that feels straight out of a movie. Yet I don't think enough people consider visiting here when planning a trip to Europe. There's so much to do and see, and one of the best ways to experience the city is with the Dubrovnik Pass. This gives you access to some of the top attractions and experiences around the city, and we'll show you what's included, what the experience is actually like, and whether we think buying the pass is worth it or not.
So we're starting off our day at the city walls. This is also included in the city pass. This is one of the major attractions that they have in Dubrovnik. Just make sure to come early, wear walking shoes, and beat the crowd.
So there are 3 options to the Dubrovnik Pass. You can get a 24-hour, a 3-day, or a 5-day. So Urban and I chose the 3-day pass. So what's included is the city walls, plus galleries and museums. And there's also public transportation included depending on what type of pass you have.
So the city walls span around the old town here in Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is actually a coastal town, and back in the days these city walls protected the old city from any enemies that came from the sea. And the city walls are the highest rated attractions here in the city pass, and a lot of people just come here for that.
They have each attraction listed on the website, showing times of when it's the most busy. Very convenient for you to plan out your day, but still highly recommend coming to the city walls bright and early in the morning.
So the city walls go around for 2 kilometers, so that's really a long spread for you to walk in order to go around the city walls, as it's one way, you cannot go back. And one thing I thought when we were coming to the city walls, that they would not have any food or drinks up on the city walls, but they have cafes. They have shopkeepers selling things in cash, and they have big cafes like this one as well.
As you're walking through the city walls, you'll find a lot of hidden gems. Right here is a lookout tower that was used back in the old days that is still preserved, and it's very unique, so make sure to not miss these as you walk through.
Alright, so we're coming to the end of city walls. We have already walked 3/4 of the way. One thing about the coastal cities on the Adriatic is the beauty of these cities are truly visible when you're on a higher level or you're on the top.
We're actually headed inside an art museum, so let's go check it out. As we walk inside, it looks like it's a very small museum, but one thing to keep in mind is have your barcodes available, because in each of these museum and galleries that you enter, they require you to have your pass on hand. Really enjoyed this museum that was included with the day pass. This alone costs €5, and the city walls itself cost 40. So a total of 45 euros we would have spent going into these separately. So that is coming really close to the 3-day pass that we purchased ourselves. We're finally understanding if the Dubrovnik City Pass is actually worth it. And we just came across a point, a continuation of the wall, since we're already 3/4 of the way, and it looks like you do have to pay an additional fee. So this pass is becoming really worth it for us. Hi, Dubrovnik Pass?
You are continuing or you are starting?
Continuing.
Then just pass.
Just
Don't
go?
worry.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Looks like if you're continuing and you have already scanned your ticket once, you don't have to scan again. So there could be multiple entrances to the wall.
All right, so we're coming to one of my favorite spots here on the city walls. This is the view of the Adriatic Sea with all the boats, and the view here is incredible. Now let's keep walking and finish the wall. We have just made it to the final leg point of the city walls, and we stumbled upon the Dubrovnik Castle. This has a great overlook of the old town, and in my opinion, one of the best ways to view the old town. And just right across the ways is one of the forts, and it's so beautiful. So the time is now 12 p.m. and it took us 2.5 hours to fully explore the city walls. Highly recommend blocking out a huge chunk of time for the city walls, as you can only enter once with the Dubrovnik Pass, and it is a one-way passage, but it also leaves a huge enough time for you to take photos and enjoy the view of the Adriatic Sea. Now that we have finally finished the city walls, now is the perfect time to stop and get some water and eat in the Old Town. There's a lot of misconceptions about the Old Town. A lot of people think that you have to pay to get inside or you need the city pass for that, but however you do not, it is free to explore. And right behind me is the tourist center where you can purchase your city pass, or you can purchase it online like we did, but here it's very convenient if you want to purchase it with cash or anything else. And if you're really thirsty after walking all of that on the city walls, you can fill up your water for free. Just right outside there's fountains scattered all around the city, so don't go buy water bottles. This is fresh, clean drinking water, and it tastes just like you bought it from the store. Right now we're walking on one of the main streets here in Old Town. It's lined with a lot of souvenir shops and food vendors. And speaking of food, we got super hungry walking on the city walls. So let's take you to one of their local restaurants that we've tried and we fell in love with. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of people that tend to dine on the outside patios right on the main street. However, we're gonna take you to a local vendor that's tucked away, so let's go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got our sandwich. It's a focaccia sandwich with tomatoes, mozzarella, pesto, and some fresh prosciutto. The lady was really nice. They are actually Italian and they have a shop. We'll mention the name of the shop right here so that you can go and support them. But this sandwich is great. We had a veg version of this last night. Let's give it a try.
Load up on carbs because we've been walking all day. Cheers. So this restaurant actually uses the freshest ingredients and they hand make their pesto right in front of you. And it tastes so good. So highly recommend coming here for a panini. It was 11 euros, 13 euros for the non-veg one, but highly worth it in my opinion because it's all fresh ingredients.
With the skin there as well. There's a restaurant.
It's midday and we just enjoyed a fresh cup of coffee, and now we're just gonna head to Rector's Palace, which is one of the famous museums here that you can visit with your city pass. So let's go check it out. The Rector's Palace is a two-story museum and it's tucked away right in Old Town. They have tons of artifacts and history about the culture here in Croatia. And in fact, this used to be a government building, but now it's a museum that's set up for tourists that is included in the city pass. And I highly recommend visiting here to make the city pass worth your money.
Time is about 3 p.m. right now. The Old Town is getting really busy, but we are headed outside the city walls to go to our next destination. But before that, we had to make a quick stop to fill our water bottle from these fountains. Now we are headed through the Pile Gate. Pile Gate is a really famous entrance to the Old Town, and Pile Gate has been used the most to enter this city historically.
Right behind us is the Pile Gate, and this has been here since the 15th century. This has been heavily guarded because this is the most popular spot to get into the city. And believe it or not, this is the first historical attraction that you're gonna see here on your trip in Dubrovnik because it leads right into the Old Town. So it's a perfect start to your trip, and it's hard to miss.
Right, so just outside the city walls, we are headed to our next destination that is also included in the city pass. It's called Fort Lovrenats, and it's just outside the city walls, and it's a great way to view the Old Town.
We are currently standing at the top of the fort. and there was a lot of stairs to get up here, but it was so worth it. It's a no-brainer to come up here because it's really worth it if you hit the fort and the city walls and the Rector's Palace because the value exceeds over 70 euros. We are really loving it at the top of this fort. There's a lot of history here and a lot of artifacts that are scattered around, so definitely check this on your list. As you're walking around the fort, there's a lot of cool artifacts scattered around. So right beside me, these are actually cannonballs that were used to fight off enemies. So it's really cool. You can just navigate around these walls and you'll never know what you're gonna stumble across.
So we have made it to the top of the fortress. This fort actually sits outside the city wall, so this was an extra layer of protection for the old town of Dubrovnik, especially back then when the city of Dubrovnik was attacked by their arch rival in the Adriatic that is now known as Venice. And the walls of this fort are extremely thick, and that was intentional because this fort was never captured.
Unfortunately, our time here at the fort is done. It was wonderful. I was not expecting much from it, but it gave a very wonderful view of the old town. And now we got to go back down the stairs we came. We're clocking a lot of steps today, but definitely worth coming here to this fort. It was beautiful.
Now imagine.
All right, guys, now we're going to be taking you to the next spot here that's included in the city pass. Right behind me is the Franciscan monastery. Inside is a library, a church, a pharmacy, so let's go explore it. The monastery actually holds one of the oldest pharmacies here in Dubrovnik, and the monastery sits right next to the city wall, so it's a great activity to plan after you have done exploring the walls. Unfortunately, the library is closed for tourists today. However, the old pharmacy is open, so we're gonna go check that out. But look at this beautiful courtyard that we get to see.
So I just found out what a monastery actually is. Apart from these courtyards, they have a library upstairs, but that's actually where the monks live and study the religious stuff. So we are not allowed to go there, and that's closed for the tourists. But the courtyard is open, and there is one more thing that we can visit here. That's the old pharmacy. So let's go check that out. Alright, we had a quick look inside the old pharmacy. I really enjoyed it. It's really nice to see and understand how they did medicine back then. They have their artifacts nicely preserved. They also have artwork showcasing how the doctors were treating patients back then. It's like a history museum, and you can get a glimpse of what it was like in the past. And just to get inside the monastery and visit the old pharmacy, it's gonna cost you $8 or 8 euros, and it's making more and more sense to get the city pass since the value has exceeded over 80 euros by now. Alright, just to give you the recap, this is the old town map right here. This is where the library and the monastery is. This is where the Rector's Palace is that we went earlier. Surrounded by the city walls. All the way over here, it's the Lovrenats Fort. And this is the Dubrovnik Castle and the main street of Old Town. So we have done pretty much the whole Old Town, and we have showed you all those places that you need to be.
Based on what we've researched so far, the monastery and the old pharmacy are among the popular museums here in Dubrovnik, along with the Rector's Palace. So if you're really scrunched for time or you only bought the 24-hour pass, highly recommend hitting up these spots. Just make sure to do your own research because everybody has their own interest. Just got done visiting inside, especially the courtyard. The courtyard is very beautiful. Perfect place to get away, relax from the crazy busyness of the old town.
Alright, so after exploring Dubrovnik on our 3-day pass, what I feel is a 3-day pass is really worth it. Buying individual tickets and paying individual fares is not worth it, but if you're gonna come here to Dubrovnik and want to visit all the cool spots that are included in the city pass, get a 3-day one. That way you'll have enough space in between to enjoy your trip and don't have to rush for any attractions. And also, if you don't have much time, I think 1-day pass would do it. To just start your day bright and early at 6, start with the city walls, then you go to Rector's Palace, relax there for a while, and then at the sunset you can head towards the Lovrenat Forts and end your day there. And in between you can choose a couple of the museums that you like. The ones we recommend are the ones we went today.
If you're looking to purchase your 1-day or 3-day city pass, you can buy it on the official website or the tourist center. However, we've conveniently linked it for you right here. We also have a bunch of things in the description, so make sure to check that out. We've had a great time here in Croatia, so when you visit, we hope you do too. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.